Greetings, family. I know it's been a minute since I did a video. I titled this Overwhelmed by the Fakeness. What I mean by that is the fakeness of the conscious community. Um, I think that I need to specify because I think there is a difference between the streets version of the conscious community versus the social media version of the conscious community. Not saying that there aren't people in the streets who are doing work that is also on social media. But one thing that I do want to put out there is that majority, I think there's like an overwhelming majority of people on social media who's not about black empowerment. And they think that because they post certain things, post certain memes, talk about videos and whatever, or talk about certain things that go viral, that they are about being about empowerment. And I'm just like, do we understand what black empowerment is? Do we even understand that? It's not something that you can wear as like a t-shirt. It's not an outfit that we put on in the morning. Throw a dashiki on and throw up our fists and say that black power. I noticed that you got people on social media that wants to argue about what is black empowerment and what isn't. And I don't think we have time for that, to argue back and forth on, certain trivial things. What we need to be doing is doing the work. Period, point blank. Black empowerment is supporting your race, supporting them fully, every day, living this way and supporting our businesses. Nobody should have to force you to support black owned. You're supposed to be automatically doing that, pushing, everything that is, that is going to empower our race. Period, point blank. So I think what I'm being overwhelmed by is just a lot of fakeness. A lot of people who's just saying certain things. Hello, Jerry Brown, and it's not doing it. Their actions is not living up to a lot of their words. It's just posts, it's memes, it's videos. But one thing that they're not showing the work. You can do a video and you can talk, but where are you showing us what you're doing? You know what I mean? And what are you doing for us as a collective? It's not just always about just pushing things separate individually and being about individualism, but it's about what are you doing, as for us as a whole, and how are you giving back? You know what I mean? And supporting people from the ground up, supporting, vendors, supporting the small businessmen, all the above. I support black businesses every day. Just the other day I got a reading done. I'm not sure if people are in tarot reading, but I got a tarot reading done on my marriage and got some very, very good news. Even that my husband is pretty much my soulmate. I mean, that's the reading that I got back. And definitely, if you guys are interested in tarot card reading, you want to look out for Rev Sean Stilts Goldman. He's on Facebook, he's on Instagram under the Spirit Science Institute. Sean Stilts Goldman, definitely brother on point to do tarot card reading. If you're also interested in like jewelry, fashion and stuff, check out like rings like this. Check out Stargate Jewelers. Stargate Jewelers. They're on Instagram at Stargate, not gays, Jewelers. You definitely want to check them out. Okay. Peace, Joseph. Peace, Kareem. You say you feel you tired of the base and the fake Jesus. We all know it's fake. Let's build. Exactly. And I agree. And that's what I want people to realize, is that that's all it's about right now. It's building, it's supporting all the little local businessmen, the vendors, all the above, supporting our businesses, fully, supporting each other, taking care of one another when we're down, offering words, of wisdom, offering words of knowledge, offering consoling words, being the brothers and sisters in a family that we say that we are. A lot of times, somebody can be going through anything, stress, hurtful times, all the above. This is what we need to be doing. Peace, Sheridan. Thank you so much, brother. Appreciate that. all the above. So, what I'm just noticing that on social media is just like, it's just a lot of fakeness. And I think that they think that they can just wear it as an outfit and they can say certain things and we're just supposed to believe it. Even some of these brothers who talk about unity and they talk about black women and uplifting the queens and love, but then you see them on Facebook doing live videos taking subtle shots at other sisters, myself included. Obviously think that I'm clueless to not see that you're taking shuttle shots at me, but I start questioning, where's your love? Where are you talking about? Where are you being about unity? Where are you saying that you're uplifting queens and you're respecting them when you're here taking subtle shots, or you're causing more division between the black woman and man relationship? Where is that going together? So this is how I'm starting to notice that certain people are fake. You know what I mean? Because you can't say in one breath, it's about us coming together and being a collective, like other races, just like what you just said, Joseph Williamson, peace, brother. You can't say that in one breath, but then, the next thing you're doing is you're taking subtle shots, you're bashing people, you're bashing, people within your own community, within your own race. Where do we do that at? Especially if it's somebody who is not showing that they're a traitor against the race. Now, if it's somebody who showed that they're a traitor against the race, then by all means, bash all you want. And, we're not supposed to be dealing with them anyway because they already show that they're a traitor. But if it's somebody who's actually showing that they're about their people and they're about empowering their people and they're supporting their race and they're pro-black, then where do you justify your attacks? You know what I mean? Like you said, that contradict themselves. These living contradictions of what you just said, Joseph Williamson, and I couldn't agree more. So this is the issue that I'm having. It's just like, I feel as though I'm just overwhelmed right now. I'm not sure who to believe, who's genuine, who's sincere, who's actually about the unity, who's actually about empowering ourselves and empowering our race, who's really about this work, who's really about putting their boots on the ground, especially when you don't show me any work. You know what I mean? You don't show yourself out there, supporting your businesses, out there at the festivals, doing whatever. We're not combating, and we're not even combating in regards to the police brutality. I'm not saying that we don't got people out here work. I see a lot of things on certain websites, even pages like Buy Black Economics. I see a lot on there, and they talk about a lot of people that own, establishment, own, farms. I just found about a woman who owns her own community, I think with like 51 homes. So it's not like we don't have people out here doing the work, which we do. We got plenty of people out here. I'm surprised how much. It's a shame that the mainstream media doesn't pick it up. But in regards to social media, we definitely are doing our part. And this is exactly what we need to be doing in this conscious community, is speaking more and more about that and putting more and more of that information out there. So more of us can know about it, for one, and we can promote that. You know what I mean? And then we can feel like we are doing something in regards to combat, this system. But in regards to combating police brutality, where are we at? Only time we say anything is if something goes viral, like Nia Wilson, and we, rest in power, and we post memes, and, we post pictures, and we, do videos and things like that. But where are we actually combating the police brutality? I see videos daily, every single day, of a brother or a sister being brutalized, being killed, being attacked, being harassed. And it's not even just from the pigs, but it's from these extra, these white extremists, like the cracker who killed Nia Wilson. You got these extremists, you got these KKK, you got all these random people who's just calling the pigs on us randomly, on our kids 24/7. And I'm like, what are we doing in order to combat that, besides bringing out a camera and filming it when we know we're not going to get no justice anyway? Where are we actually putting in the work? Where are we fighting back? Where are we doing that? It's not always about, marching and protesting and things like that, but, and holding up a sign and saying this is what we want. It's about doing it. I can't see myself personally watching a brother or sister be brutalized and grabbing my cell phone to videotape. I can't see me not wanting to step in and not stepping in to help them, because all I can think about is what if I'm personally in that situation? What would I want done? How would I want people to respond to me? You know what I mean? So this is something that I be questioning. So, I question this in regards to a lot of the conscious people. I understand some of our people who still sleep. They just don't know, and a lot of them still have that fear, and they walk around with this fear in them to where, this is what the system bank on. But in regards to the brothers and sisters who are woke, and we talk about that, and we talk about staying woke and the importance of staying woke, and the reason I think we talk about that is because we want to stay woke to how we're being, treated from the system, how we're being killed, how we're being, exterminated, how we're being brutalized, all the above. Stay woke. We can't trust, certain people, and just stay woke to that. Stay alert and stay, stay on point in regard, stay on topic in regards to that. But when I see that certain people don't want to actually, I guess certain people don't really want to sacrifice themselves. You know what I mean? And I think it honestly is a fear, and I just don't understand in regards to us who are woke. Why aren't we doing more? What is our reasoning? Of staying idle in regards to when we see other brothers and sisters dealing with what they're dealing with. So this is just something that I'm just questioning, or regards to how I'm just being overwhelmed by a lot of things that are going on, especially in regards to social media. All I see is main things that I see in regards to people who are doing anything is the ones who are in the streets. I mean, that's where it is. In regards to the ones out here on YouTube and Facebook, I can't confirm it. You said as a whole the support base is going also, that's why nobody gets involved, and I agree with that as well. I do see that. Yes, I'm okay with that, Kareem. Thank you, brother. That's something that I'm just noticing is that a lot of us have a lot of words, and it's a lot of good feel good talk, and I think that that's the extent of it. It's just a lot of words. Nobody's actually about any work, and I don't know what it's going to take in order for us to actually be about liberation. I mean, if we want to see freedom, we want to be liberated, we want the oppression to end, and we want this brutalization and all the above to end, then it takes more than us just talking about it. It takes the action. That's the only way that we're going to change certain things. If we want things changed and we want certain things to stop, we have to get up off our ass and do it. We got to stop being fearful and stop being scared. You know what I mean? And stop just saying it, but doing it. Actions speak louder, right? Isn't that old school? So this is just what it is. So, and when I'm not seeing that, I have my little issue. You said indiscipline is gone. Our younger generation is not fully aware, have a clue. Yeah, exactly. And these are the issues that I'm having. Something that I did come across, which I shared on my Facebook page. Sister was telling me about this bill called the HR 1242 that I guess is going to come around 2020, where they're talking about acknowledging slavery and acknowledging the 400 years of slavery. Not sure. I'm still a little confused. I mean, you can Google HR 1242. I'm still a little confused by the bill, but I'm not sure exactly what they're saying and what exactly they're trying to acknowledge. I think it has something to do with slavery. Yes, that's indeed. Not sure with them by acknowledging that what we're going to be getting out of it. Not sure if it's going to be reparations or anything like that. But that would be something that I think that we need to know about, because that's something that has to deal with our race. So, you said Joseph, you said discipline is gone. Our younger generations don't have a clue because they're so caught up in social media. Exactly. And I think that social media is leading them, astray and leading them elsewhere. And it's also confusing too in regards to social media, because you don't know what to believe. It's just like I said, we're being overwhelmed by the fakeness, and not sure what to believe, or who to follow, you know what I mean, or who to be inspired by. Not sure in regards to any of that. So and discipline, I agree with that, with the discipline being gone, and that's something that needs to get back into our community and need to be instilled back within ourselves and in our family, and then of course in the younger generation. um Maybe with the lack of discipline, maybe this is why we can't come together. I mean, this is something that we know what fears. We know what fears the system, and that's unity. We saw that in the Malcolm X movie. We saw that when he approached the police department, and he came out and he was taking, coming to the rescue of another brother. And when that police chief at the end said, that was too much power for one man to have. That's basically what he was saying, is that he was fearing that. He was fearing that power of Malcolm X, and he was fearing the power of, the Islam community. So, and when you seen that display of unity, you seen how they kind of backed off a little bit. So this is what we need to showcase. I mean, our ancestors already laid out this plan for us. They've already shown us what we need to do. The Black Panthers and all the above. We know we need to police our own communities. We know we need to come together. We know we need to show, strong unity. We know we need to work together. And we know what they fear, and we know what they don't fear. And they don't fear disarray. They don't fear disunity. We see this with other races, what they have. We say we want the same thing, and we're not doing any work. We're not doing anything to actually achieve that. And not sure why. I mean, we talk it, we say it, the words sound so good, but I haven't seen anybody actually make the moves and do the steps in order to have it. Because if you did, we would have it right now. We can't even be unified on social media. We can't even be unified in this conscious community, where people taking subtle shots and want to attack and go back and forth, and when they want to argue over what is Black Power and what isn't, and when they want to call you names and certain things like that. You know what I mean? Because they are I'm not sure. I'm not sure what they are. I don't know what the reason is for. I can't even tell you. You know what I mean? Because I don't even know. So, I'm confused by it as well. So, and I'm not understanding as to why we can't get what we already know what's needed and what's required. So, and what definitely is going to be feared. So you said, what did you say, Jerry Brown? For some reason, original people fear unity. Why? Because they fear what they don't understand. And I don't understand why would they not understand what unity is? I'm not even understanding that. So, and like you said, Kareem, until we show the solidarity, the police going to continue to kill our children. It's important for us to come together. And I agree with that. And if we say this 24/7, then what's so hard about us actually doing it, especially in this conscious community, especially starting with the people who's woke? That's where it need to start from. It need to start from us who's already woke, who's already conscious, because we have this self-knowledge. But I think some people are comfortable there. They're comfortable with staying there. Some people don't really want to do the work. Some people just want to get the knowledge, and they're comfortable staying on that, just getting the knowledge and just walking around with knowledge itself. And just continue to just keep reading and continue to keep hearing the same regurgitated knowledge from the certain books over and over to you. And that's not what it's about. It's not that wasn't the reason to get conscious, was just to stay there. The reason was to get conscious was to figure out, okay, now that I have knowledge of self, what am I going to do with this? And how am I going to work? And how am I going to put this work into action and put this forth into action? It wasn't about just staying on that same medium and that same level and just being happy that I have this knowledge of self and walking around feeling with some self-entitlement that you're above everybody else who don't have that. It's about waking up others. It's about reaching out and reaching back and lifting them up, and helping them get knowledge of self. So it's about putting in that work because you know that you have this. I mean, it's because you have this, you know what needs to be done. You know what I mean? And you know what you need to do in order to liberate yourself. So, and this is where we need to be on. So you said, Joseph, you said we are systematically denied access to wealth. The black man is slowly taken out the picture. Their primary fear is white genetic extinction. Exactly, and that's happening. And that's happening regardless, period. They already being extinct. They already being extinct. You know what I mean? They're already going extinct. So, with that said, we know that that's what they fear, and even if they fear that, we get systematically denied to wealth and certain things like that because they want to keep us oppressed and they want to keep us in the same condition that we've always been in, that they always kept us in. And one thing that it's like we know all this, we have all this knowledge, but then we're not doing nothing with it. So, and Jerry, you said because they use the words peace, but they don't know what it really means. Proper education always corrects error. Got you. Got you. And I thought it always meant like I come in peace or something like that, but I got you. And you said when they get the knowledge, they look down on the others, and I see that as well. So, and that's my issue as well. So, I'm not sure how we're going to get it together. So I'm not saying that we don't have some people out here. Like I said, I do see it on social media and stuff that we got people out here who are doing things and who are doing the work and being about that. And I'm thankful for that. So, and I'm thankful for those ones. And those are the ones that I continue to unite with and I continue to build with out here in Atlanta. So, but in regards to social media, it's a little difficult. So, and it's a shame because we could use this platform as a way to build, as a way to unify, especially all across the 50 states and globally. We could be taking advantage of this right now, but we're not doing that. We're being about competition. That's what I see in the conscious community. Who knows the most? Who knows the most knowledge? Who knows the most information? You know what I mean? Who knows the most scholars? Things like that. Who can regurgitate the most? You know what I mean? Or people want to argue over who's doing the most work for the community, even though they don't show you nothing. So, and they want to argue over that, or they want to argue over what is black power and what isn't. They want to argue over trivial things instead of them actually saying, you know what, let's come together. Let's work together. Okay, you about that work? Well, so am I. How can we link up and how can we put it together? Because, you ain't going to be liberated by yourself. If we all don't get liberated as a collective and, as a whole, then none of us will. So don't think because you out here doing your little farming on one side, you just going to be liberated by yourself. So instead of you getting your ego and getting out that ego and saying, you know what, let me build with my sister. Let me build with her. If I'm up in New York and she in Atlanta, let me build with this sister. And let me work with her and let me see what she can do for an Atlanta down here for my organization while I'm doing my thing up in New York. No, you want to be about competition back and forth. You want to be arguing back and forth. You want to cut people off to the side, which we don't even have that many woke people out here. But the white woke people that are, you want to sit there and try to dismiss them and toss a woke person to the side. So how is that helping you? How is that benefiting us? How is that benefiting us as a collective? I'm curious. So, Joseph, you say our race is the only race that can reproduce in every other genetic race because of our genetic dominance. I researched it myself, and the next 150 Caucasian will totally be next to no more or none. Okay, I got what you're saying. You queens are tired, and it's more of you speaking the truth. I love you all for that. Thank you. Exactly my thoughts. Joseph, our race as a whole needs to get rid of that. They wants to keep us out. Exactly. Let's get to the root. Exactly. I agree with Dave Power. That's whitewash. Okay, good example. Our old school rappers. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, this is the issue that I'm having. It's like, I don't understand as to why people who are conscious and who are proud to be conscious aren't doing more, aren't reaching out more. That's what I expect from them. And I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing more division. So, and I'm confused because now that I'm a conscious being, I expect so much out of that. I expect solidarity. I expect unity. I expect liberation. I expect that. And because I'm not seeing it and I'm not hearing about it, I'm not seeing the people actually doing the work to actually lead us to that. This is what I'm confused on. When I see people who actually want to cause more division and kick people out and push them to the side and discredit and things like that and try to pull down another person with this crab mentality, I'm confused on it. So, if people want to quote our ancestors and things like that, then be them. Start acting like them then. Start rekindling some of the things that our ancestors once did, in the past. I doubt it would before this social media, before it even existed. So, but I don't see that now. So, and that's the issue I'm having. I'm just overwhelmed by the fakeness of this conscious community or the social media conscious community. I'm overwhelmed by it. It's just too much. So, and I think this is why I've kind of separated myself from it and kind of got away from that. Because this is why you haven't really been seeing me on social media like that. I mean, yeah, I might post a meme or something like that, but not really doing videos and stuff like that because I'm busy in the streets. And I'd rather just deal with that and be part of Decarcerate Louisiana, which y'all familiar with Decarcerate Louisiana that I spoke about, did the video on with the brothers, behind bars and trying to get them out, dealing with that. That's my energy there, doing food drives out here in Atlanta, stuff like that, and giving back to my people. That's my energy while being in school, because I know that once I finish school, then I'm definitely trying to get in a position to be, manufacturing. So that I know that's definitely needed within our community. So, and I know we already have some, but it's about continuously growing and expansion. So, and I definitely am watching myself because I never know if anybody else is watching. The system's watching you. I know the system's watching me. I know they're watching all of us. Anybody who wants to rise up against the system is watching. So, and I'm just continue to being about my work and continue to keep moving forward. So, and continue to link up with the ones who's actually about the work because they got their boots on the ground versus some of these ones who got their boots up on a desk, just claiming that it's on the ground. Joseph, he says, because our generation has accepted the fakeness as reality. Exactly. And I do think that the younger generation can't decipher between the difference between reality and fakeness because there's so much fakeness and because we're overwhelmed by it. So, and I if the younger generation is having a problem deciphering the difference, so am I. So, and that's the issue that, this is the issue that I was talking about. So, you say you're going to die for this cause. Exactly. This cause, I got you. Yes, and so will I. So some of us do stand on the spirits of our ancestors, and we're going to be just like them. So, and I'm pretty sure a lot of our ancestors could be looking down and thinking, what did they breed? Because a lot of us, I feel, don't really have their spirits because we got too much fear within us. You know what I mean? And they don't really want to sacrifice themselves. They're not willing to put themselves out there, on the front line and fight for their people and fight for this revolution. So, and that's where I'm at. That's where all my energy is. That's where my focus is. I want to unite with my people. I want to unite with my people through social media. But if you don't want to unite with me, I can't force you to do it. But I do question if you really are about black empowerment, if you really are genuine, or if you just somebody who just wants to quote it for social media simply so you can get somebody to watch you. So you go, Joseph, you said after you graduated in 1978, the white power structure started to de-industrialize the high schools. They took away the manufacturing drive of Detroit when they did this and brought the crack cocaine in the 80s, just broke down the black family structure. The white power structure took away the jobs and skills that paid the bills and kept our family strong. As a whole, that's what kept us together when we fell apart, when they started taking to working the black man out of the picture when we did. Yeah, I agree with that. Yes, I say definitely. So, but this is why we need to fight so hard. This is why we need to work so hard. You know what I mean? To overturn all of the damage that was done by the system. So, and we don't really have time to waste. We don't have time to talk. We don't have time to sit around to waste anything, because the genocide is happening right before our very eyes every single day, and we're not doing nothing. That's what I'm questioning. What are we doing to fight back the brutality, the brutalization, the gentrification, things like that? So, the food, the resources, I see people are growing, which is great. I see people who are trying to buy property and stuff like that and land, which is great. So that's one way that we can combat certain things. There's a couple ways that we're combating. But in regards to the brutalization and the extermination, the murders that keep happening on us, and then everybody wants to come to you and tell you that it's a spiritual revolution. But I get a little confused on that, because, we're still being killed. And you can't tell that to these people who are being stabbed to death or who are being lynched. You can't tell somebody who's, being strung up by a noose that, hey, it's a spiritual revolution, so don't worry about it. You know what I mean? So people kill me with all that and the spirituality, because I'm just like, yeah, but these people are losing their lives, and they losing their lives in the most horrific way that you could think of. We got to be about our work. So, and we got to be about trying to help them. So, but I'm not seeing that. So you said that's similar to the Willie Lynch letter. Yeah, I'm 55 years old for grown daughters. My own dear isn't too much in my generation left to help the young. Okay, my mic keeps missing. It's okay. It's all right. I got you. I get what you're trying to say, Joseph. They killing us through the food because we're trying to reach to our God. Yes, and killing us through that too. And I do see people growing their own, which is good. I see people out here trying to, get farmland, stuff like that. Buy back communities, buy back the block, all that. And that's all good, because that's a way to fight back gentrification. That's a way to fight back the fact that our resources being contaminated, things like that. But when we talk about the police brutality, when we talk about these extremists and things like that, we're not fighting back the killing. We're not fighting back the brutalization. And that's what we got to get on. That's what we got to be about. That's the work that we need to be dealing with. That's what we need to be doing. So, and not bringing out a cell phone, because the cell phones are not doing that. And we're not getting no justice in regards to that either. And we know this. We know the system will never give us justice. We know that these pigs or these extremists and stuff will never deal with it. Look at just the people who've been calling the police on us for selling water, selling hot dogs, stupid stuff like that. They don't even get trouble for making bogus phone calls. They don't even get in trouble for it. Something I was reading that Tariq Nasheed was saying, that how we could get back that is, he said, be the first one to call. If they harassing you, like the woman who was in the market and was harassing a girl for using food stamps and talking about she was going to call the police. Like an incident like that, she should have called the police first and said that she was being harassed. I said, well, I hear Tariq in regards to that. Not sure how much that would work. Not sure the police would treat us and come out if we called on them, because we know that, white people still got that privilege and they get treated a little different in regards from the pigs. We see that with how every time they get arrested versus being killed like we are. So I'm not sure how much, what that would do if we chose to call them prior. But and tell him that we're being harassed. But I guess it's worth a shot. That's something that he had spoke on. So I'm just curious as to what we're going to do while we're being attacked 24/7 every single day. I wake up, that's all I'm seeing. Multiple videos, listening to Sean King. That's something that he speaks on. He's always showing certain videos or pictures or posts or stuff of us being harassed. So I'm curious as to what can we do in order to fight that or to get that to end. So, and you said it's called the purge. In reality, that's one of the main reasons why Trump was born into office, to usher in the purging of us systematically. The extreme that you're talking about are mercenaries being brought in from the Ukraine and Russia. Oh, really? I didn't know that. And I didn't know they was being brought in from the Ukraine and Russia. So, but I did hear about the purge. So, and I do see that what they're doing in regards to, how extreme they're being. So, I just think that we need to wake up to this reality, you know, because I'm thinking some people might be still asleep. And we need to wake up to the reality that, you know, the purge is happening. And there has to be a solution. There has to be a solution for this. So, and if we can have the mentality of touch one, touch all of us. So if you touch one of us, you touch all of us. If we could just walk around with that mentality and start doing that. So if they touch one of us, we all respond. Then I think that they would have a fear in them and they would back off. If we can do just a little bit of what we saw in the Malcolm X movie, in that scene where he came together and he showed it and those pigs backed off, then we might be able to actually do it. But, you know, as long as we are divided, as long as we are there, and especially in this conscious community, they are never going to fear us. They never going to have a fear about us because they like, look, they can't even come together. They got all this knowledge, they possess all this knowledge itself, and they still can't come together. And they look at that. And then you go, yes, sister, the white power structure is not using their own. They're using mercenaries in disguise. Didn't know that. Didn't know that, but I'm not surprised about it. So, not at all. I didn't really want to make the video too long. I just, you know, was just kind of venting a little bit because I was just overwhelmed by a lot of fakeness that I feel. It's because, you know, so many people talk so much good talk and so much, you know, feel good talk, you know, and they come up with all these great words and great videos to be able to tell us, you know, how we need to do or to be able to teach us and things like that. But one thing I don't see their actions following a lot of their words. So, and I'm just overwhelmed by it. So, and I'm overwhelmed by the people who continue to tune into the fakeness. You know, they don't even care. It's like they're comfortable with being distracted and pretending that all this that's going on out the world doesn't exist. And I think that they walk around just hoping that it doesn't touch them. And as long as it don't touch them, then they don't care. And it's disheartening. And it hurts. So, and you go, the power structure is doing the same thing that Hitler did before he killed that European Jew. He had to kill the image order. He had to kill the image in order to destroy the black life. You have to kill the image of the black life, which is showing them reference to our movies, through gangster rap, through dumbing down of our younger generations and miseducation. Definitely. Couldn't agree more. So, hopefully we can get it together, people. You know, but this is why you don't see me like that on social media, because I'm overwhelmed by it. And I don't want to be associated with that. I'd rather just continue to do the work that I'm doing in the streets. Hopefully I can start showing y'all some videos of it. And that's pretty much it. And just continue to go to school so I can finish that, so I can really put in even more work than I'm doing now. So, and that's it. Because I think black power, if people want to know what black power is, I believe black power is work. And it's doing the work. That's it. So, I guess I'm going to just end it on that. So, I'm going to say peace and love. You know, thanks to everybody tuned in. Everybody going to watch. You know, remember to keep your heads up. Keep boots on the ground. And put back empowerment first. So, and you go, I appreciate the bill. Please pull up what happened in the South Carolina prison system. Okay, I'll do that. Thank you, Jerry. All right, peace and love to y'all.